Good afternoon. Today the topic we are going to discuss is exception handling in Java. So what exception handling is? Before entering into exception handling topic, we want to know why exception happens, why it should be written in Java, or what is the reason behind exception handling. Generally, when you write a program, you find some bugs like errors you call. You may classify those errors as syntax error, logical error, and runtime error. Okay, sometimes your program may fail unexpectedly during the execution. Okay, so in that case, your program will stop. It cannot continue where the error happens. So what you should do is, as a user, you have to break the execution and you have to debug the error why it is happened. Okay, so definitely we don't understand why the error happens. Only if you have an idea on what are all the types of errors and how the error happened, you cannot find the error. Okay, so you have to identify why the error happens. Okay, so what is an error? It is a outcome of an incorrect output. So when do you say the program has an error? So when you get a different output than expected, then you can say that the program has errors. So it causes the program to terminate unexpectedly, and even it can lead the system to crash. So it is our responsibility to identify and handle those errors. So what are the types of errors? First one is runtime error, logical error, and syntax errors. We will start with syntax error. So what is a syntax error? So this error, they arise when the program does not follow the rules of the programming language. That is, you call them as syntax. Okay, so when the programmer does not follow the syntax, then you will be thrown syntax error. This error will be monitored and it will be identified and rectified during compilation. Second thing is logic errors. This error happens when a program does not behave as intended. For example, we may use the relational operator, like for example, like a greater than b. So we say that a greater than b, we use a symbol between two variables. That symbol is called as relational operator. So instead of relational operator, like if we are using a different symbol, then you won't get the expected answer. So you will get error when you execute your program. Okay, so this logic has to be identified and you have to correct that error. So those errors are called as logic errors. Third one is runtime errors. This runtime error, they occur during program execution. Okay, so you cannot find while debugging, you cannot find while logically. Okay, the thing is, when you encounter this type of error, you cannot proceed further. Okay, so what happened to the program is they will stop at execution and the user has to break the operation and you have to go back to the program and identify why this error happens. So this is an example of runtime error. See here in this program, you will find y is equal to, this is what, y is equal to a by b minus c. So here the value for b and c is 5. So 5 minus 5 is 0. So a number divided by 0 is infinity, is an error. So when you run this program, you will get this runtime error and you will not continue with the next statement. So your program will stuck there. So what you do is you have to identify that error and you have to debug it. Okay. So what are the causes of errors? So some causes are memory errors, where your memory is allocated incorrectly. Okay, so memory errors you have. file system errors you will have. Suppose like if your disk is full or if your disk has been removed, you will find the file system errors. If your file is not at all present in that particular path, then you will get this type of errors. Network error, in case if you are working in a client server technology, if your network is down or if your URL does not work, does not exist, you will get this network errors. Sometimes you will get calculation error, which is divide by 0. Okay. And most typical causes is like array errors. Whenever you use array, you will specify the size. So if incorrect size are specified, you will get an array error. Then conversion error, like converting one data type into another data type, that is conversion error. Okay, so you might have experienced some type of different errors in while you are programming. Okay, so how to rectify these errors? One is debugging. The normal thing is debugging, where you can debug your errors, and how to find, even if you have error, the program has to complete its execution. So how it can be done? So this can be done by exception handling. Okay, so it is a mechanism that provides both return flag. I mean, it is a mechanism to return flag that any method may raise an exception should encounter an error. Okay, so it is just like a global error method. In that, exception mechanism is built into Java. They are handled at many levels, like in your local wise or in a global wise. You will have try catch mechanism. This is the basic mechanism where in exception handling is implemented. So you, whatever statement you want to execute, that will be written in the try catch, and in case if the try catch has an error, what should be the next part? So that will be in the catch statement. So that is try catch block. This must be the this is the basic exception handling mechanism. Other than that, you will have this is the normal program code. So this is what the example is. You have try normal program code. So when you have this program code, when you write this program code, if it has error, the program will not stop. It will go to the catch exception and it throw an exception error, so that we can able to identify why this error happens, what is the type of error, and again we have all the types of errors. Okay, so you have IO exception error. Okay, you have general exception error. You have array index out of mode exception error. Okay, you will have divide by 0 exception error. You have a lot of null pointer exception error. So you have a lot of exception errors are there. Okay, thank you.